Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So I'm up on top of the old castle keep. Well, I'm not on top of it. I'm up on the hill where the castle keep is, I should suppose. You guys probably haven't even heard what it's called. Lavenhorn Keep. I need to make like an actual tour video of this place because it is huge. Many layers to it. But we actually have the world tour coming up real soon, and so I am trying to make this look pretty decent. But that episode 50 world tour, it's gonna be a special one. So I'm excited for that. But in the meantime, I've been doing a decent bit of work. So if you can tell from this view, which maybe you can't, there's a little bit of change, and that is this big forest I planted right here. Now, long term, I don't necessarily plan for it to be fully forested in there. I think there'll probably be a little bit of buildings in that. Not for sure, though. But I just wanted to plant this in the meantime, and you'll see kind of why when I get up close. But I think it looks good and kind of fills in that space. And that's what I kind of want to do. Like, I want everything to be sort of realistic. And so obviously I have the world tour and stuff coming up like that, and I want this area to be filled in because naturally in a city you would have, you just wouldn't have like big open spaces of land that's not being used. So if the land is open and that stuff, then there'll probably be either trees or farms there. So I'm trying to make that seem more realistic. And then if there is a building that it ends up being put in there, then we'll do like they do in real life, chop down the trees and use it for lumber or whatever use it may be, and just kind of go from there with building the buildings there. So that's kind of the idea with this with all those trees. But not only that, I actually took something out. So we'll go walk on over here down this beautiful corridor on Main Avenue. But yeah, on the left here, this is a very old area of the city. One of the first areas that we worked on was over here. And this was actually, if you remember, this was a marketplace right here. So like a farmer's market. And my brother had built that a long time ago. It was really good at the time, but that was before like wool carpet existed and things like we have now. We didn't have very many blocks back then. It was almost 8 years ago, which is crazy to think. But around 8 years ago, he built that. And so I'm just kind of wanting to update that at some point. And so I decided just to take that out and put in this forest. And it looks really good. And we still have River Road over here that runs alongside over to the courthouse, and then eventually, obviously, to the river. But I just filled in this kind of spruce forest through here, and I think it looks nice. It kind of covers up the cliffs a little bit, but that's okay, because rarely do you just have big open cliffs in real life. This tree needs to grow. Why have you not grown? It will. But also, there was an entrance right here that led into the sewers, and so I need to when this area does get built up, I need to replace that entrance into the old section of the sewers. But that is not all that I did. I also just did. I did a lot of like planting and just kind of making the world look, I guess, nice in a sense, if that makes. I just kind of made it look more uniform, and updated some old stuff. So I put like grasses and stuff all the way up here because this was just regular grass. There weren't any like tall grass like this. And I got rid of the flowers because, I think that just makes things look better and more realistic, because when you're walking around, you don't normally see like a bunch of flowers and stuff. So I replaced it with more so just grasses. I just think it looks better here in Minecraft. But I did a lot of that all over this whole entire valley. So that took a long time, actually. And then also right now I'm moving in real life. So I've found myself having less time to play Minecraft. But after this week, I'll be moved into the new place. And so I'll have a lot more time to put into the videos. Not that I didn't put a lot of effort into this one, because I did. It was just time looked a little bit different than the normal schedule. I've had to be working ahead a decent bit. But also, other than the outside areas, I worked inside in the library. Yeah, I know last episode I said the library is completed, and it is, this part, but I also mentioned that this was only the good section, and so there's 5 layers of good books for Good, and then there's going to be 5 layers of evil. So let's go down here to layer 1 of the evil books. Just a little hallway in here. But I went ahead and added layer 2. So we come down here, and yes, you don't see any books, but I think that this is a really cool addition as well. So if you count these double chests, I think there's maybe like 36 of them or 32. I don't remember, something like that. And that's exactly enough to house one of every single item in Minecraft. Yes, you heard that right. I'm going to put one of every single item down in this. And this will be like the vault, the historical storage. And so there's a lot. Like, look at all these slots. And this includes all like the different wood types, stone types, like each block you can make, like the stairs and the slabs from them. And yeah, it doesn't seem like much just looking at the chests, because like, it just looks like a normal storage room. But when you're putting one individual item in each, this is going to take forever. So this is going to be a giant ongoing project, and something that I feel would be pretty fitting for like a library to have, because that happens in like real life. You have like what they call like seed storage, where they have like different plants and stuff where they store the seeds for like historical context. If for some reason that species of plant would ever be wiped out, they would have backups of that to restart that. And so that's kind of the idea of this, just a collection of every material. I'm not going to be like actively going around and doing this, just passively as I come across different items, I'll do that. Also, I kind of went with like a sort of intricate design into the roof here with cobblestone and the stone brick, and I think it looks really nice. I think this room looks pretty cool, and I might take out some of the lights just to give it some more ambience in here, but I feel like this would definitely be something in the evil storage, because there's some evil blocks that would have to be gathered. So, but it's just on level 1, so you don't get too evil on level 2. You don't get too evil on level 2. But you see at the end here, there is a cobblestone wall. So this is going to go down to level 3 for some even more evil stuff down there. So that'll be interesting to see. Obviously, 3 more levels to follow that one. So that is interesting. Actually, you know what? We'll just stay down here for today's lore reading, and it is an interesting one. So if you normally click off of the lore, I would listen to this one just because I find it pretty funny, and you might find it interesting. So let's get into it. Okay. While the Red Flag was busy with their zombie invasion dealings, the newly appointed King Oscar Torque has his other interests. Or, well, I should say interest. He desires one thing above all, and that was a wife, or queen, rather. However, with all the citizens of Catalogero to choose from, he had a rather tasking search ahead. Instead, however, an advisor of his suggested there should be a contest held to see who would win the prize of the king's hand in marriage. Torque loved the idea, with one stipulation that he would choose the winner and the criteria for the contest. So in 5095, the first annual Queen contest would be held. First annual, implying that it's often, which is pretty funny. There would be 50 of the citizens, or of the city's most beautiful and talented citizens chosen to compete. There would also be 5 rounds that determine the final 3 contestants. Each round would assign a contestant a number of points. At the end, the 3 with the most points went to the finals, where King Torque would choose from there. Round 1 was a simple beauty contest, where each of the town's citizens would vote on who is the most beautiful. Round 2 was a talent show to show whether, once again, voting and stuff to get their points. And round 3 was actually a written IQ test. Round 4 was a friendliness competition where each contestant would have a day to try to gather as many new friends as they could. And finally, round 5 was specifically chosen by Torque himself. However controversial it was, it still made its way into the contest. It was a battle of king, or rather queen, of the hill. They were allowed to use any means necessary to get the highest up on Mount Larobi, named after the first king, of course. And yes, this includes violence. In fact, violence was encouraged. So there we have it. That's what King Torque has been up to, while obviously the Red Flag and Short Legs are dealing with the zombie invasion. He's having a contest to see who his queen will be. So I find that pretty interesting. And so in the next episode, we'll see how that contest goes. But yeah, thank you all for watching the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you'd like to come along on this journey. No end in sight. There will be no end to this journey. It's going to go on forever. So I welcome any of you to join. We're going to have as many episodes as One Piece. That's the goal anyways. All right, I'll see you all in the next one.